Hey guys, Jake from GD Honey Acres here. I've been talking about how I've been going through and redoing my shop and getting it set up. Well, I figured I might as well just give y'all a little bit of a tour quick, kind of an update on that. Let's get started on this. First thing is we kind of cleaned up this whole area here. Got rid of a lot of junk and trash. Got a project going on right now that my wife is taking care of, and it's going to be a sandbox for my son so he stops digging in our garden. So we got our wood benches, our work benches all kind of cleaned up, all that trash and crud gone. Y'all probably saw all that when I was building my other stuff this winter. Dog beds, they're important. Right now my son is loving them. He's taking a nap. Got the miter saw set up where it needs to be. Shop dog, she's loving the cold concrete. Instead of laying on the other bed next to my son, she decides to lay there. Got kind of my forge area set up. The shop, the all around shop bench, it's still a little bit of a mess. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with everything there. Round table with my little microwave oven there that I use when I'm setting my knives up. Got the woodworking table set up for the most part. Got my hand plane, wood hammer, chisels, little saw, impact, and drill all right here. I built that just a little bit ago. Went ahead and set my clamps up. I got my corner clamps, regular wood clamps, claw hammer, my C clamps back there. Got my speed square, T-square, and two straight edges. I didn't even know I had one of the straight edges until we went through and we're cleaning this. Mrs. Jake and I spent a lot of time cleaning in the shop. Cool thing I figured out is that table I built right there, y'all saw in another video, it's just tall enough that if I take the fence off the table saw will slide right underneath. Love it. Went ahead and set up a spot to hang my extension cords. Got that hanger from Harbor Freight. I did one of those over here too for my air compressor, for the hose there, and the air compressor's there, and that's plugged into the wall instead of using an extension cord now. And here's this setup. That's what I was talking about with chisels, wood mallet, hand plane. Got my drill and my impact. Got the motorcycle set up on the table lift, ready to rock. Put all the tools away in the toolbox. They're not out anymore. Actually got a place for old used oil in that 55-gallon barrel there. Got a place for my grill. I need to clean off the dust off the top. We got pegboards here in the metals area, but that pegboard will eventually be part of those wood benches over there. Now I've been working on this pickup here lately, so I've been focusing on a lot of projects here at home. I've been trying to get to the timing chains here. As you can see, there they are. I'm working on replacing this whole timing setup because, as you can see right here, there's a broken piece. Well, the broken piece is actually a chain guide that goes all the way down. You can see one right here. That broke, put a hole in the valve cover up there, and then there were a whole bunch of pieces in the bottom of the oil pan. So I'm working on getting this done up so I can get it running again and out of the shop, because I need to get Mrs. Jake's F-150 over here and figure out what's going on with the transfer case. Something ain't right in there. It doesn't sound right. All right. Motorcycle, of course. I'm real excited that I got that back up. Now let's go over to the miter saw. And I've got a funny story about this miter saw. All right, so we've got the miter saw undone. And Mrs. Jake, it's unplugged is what I mean by undone. And Mrs. Jake was using it last night to cut up some boards. And I'm over working on my workbench, and it just smells like burning lumber. So we went over here to see what was going on. Well, it turns out the blade, it must be dulled. And there's a reason that it's dulled. And it's funny because apparently my wife turned out to be rednecker than me. So one day she decided she was going to go ahead and make some pork loin in the slow cooker, and it was frozen, so it was too long for our slow cooker. You guys guess where I'm going to go with this? Well, she brought that frozen pork loin out, put it right on this miter saw, and proceeded to use the miter saw to cut the pork loin in half. Now I laughed and laughed and laughed about it, and I still think it's hilarious that that's the route she went. It worked. It worked great, but now our blade is dull. So we're going to go ahead and change that out with this new one I picked up from Harbor Freight. It's 50 teeth, it's a 10-inch, 5/8 arbor size. It ought to work really well for what we need it to. And I think it's less teeth than the one I have on there. The one I have on there is an 80 tooth, and this is a 50 tooth. Don't really matter. I'm not doing a lot of fancy cutting with this. If I want to do a little bit smoother cuts, I'll go ahead and get me a 100 tooth blade. Let's go ahead and take this off. Now the bolt for these, you'll find that it's reverse thread, so you got to spin it to the right to loosen it. No biggie there. Got that undone. Set the bolt there. For these ones, this is a Harbor Freight miter saw, by the way. It's a 10-inch one. 6mm will undo that. Let's go ahead and get our blade off of here. Wiggle, wiggle, walk. There it is, cheap little Irwin. Put this back on, make sure you've got the rotation the right way. How these spin, they spin clockwise. Let's get it back on. Got to wiggle it on there to get it all the way. There we go. Put this back on. Let's get our bolt up in there. Without dropping the washer, preferably. So remember, on the reverse thread, to tighten it up, you got to go left. For some reason, even though I knew that, I somehow just forgot about it. Kept trying to turn it right, which is how you loosen them. Now on the other side of the blade here, there is a spindle lock that you push in. There we go. Turn that all the way left. Boom. Now our blade is changed, and Mrs. Jake can go ahead and keep going on her sandbox project. All right, now that was the shop tour, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to throw this away or anything. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is maybe once I get myself a plasma cutter, which is in the works, it's going to happen in the future. I'm going to get a little cheapo. I can't afford the real big expensive one, so I'm probably going to just get one of those off of eBay that's like $200 or less. And I'm thinking I'll try to make a knife with this. Yeah. I've heard these can make good knives. I mean, it's a really good high quality steel. Yeah, so that'll be the future of this blade here. I'll just put this somewhere where nobody's going to get cut by it. Cool. That sounds like a great project for the future. All right, well, you had the shop tour. You saw me change the miter saw blade. Mrs. Jake will be super happy about that. She'll actually be able to cut lumber without bogging the miter saw down. This thing, it doesn't even really feel all that sharp. I mean, it'll still cut, but that other one felt, yeah, right here. This tooth is dull. There's no sharpness to that at all. Same with there, there, and there. A lot of these are dull. Yeah. That new one, it feels like a darn razor blade on that circular disc. All right, guys, give me a like and subscribe if you liked watching this video. Maybe you got some ideas on how you want to set your shops or garages up. I'll pray for your family. You pray for mine. I hope you're being healthy and well and trying to have a decent time. Maybe learn a new skill during all this. And hope you're doing well wherever you are, whenever you are, morning, afternoon, and night. I'll catch y'all later.